Good day, legends. TJC Sports here as always. Welcome back to another rugby league video. Preseason is officially done and dusted, and you know what time it is now, legends. Because of that, it is time for our NRL Round 1 predictions. Mate, come on, bring on Vegas, baby. What happens there stays there. If you are new to the channel, firstly, welcome. Secondly, as I say for every single predictions video, but if you are new, of course, you may have not heard it, these are just my opinions. Don't need to hate me in the comments, legends. They are not fact. I'm not saying that one bit, okay? So feel free to let me know down there who you think is winning. How much do you disagree with me? Am I a complete idiot? Feel free to tell me that. Alright, I think that's all I needed to say actually. So, let's get on with my NRL Round 1 predictions. Time to show you, legends. Been waiting and thinking about this for weeks. And with the team list out, it is finally time to do every single game, as I ain't no wuss and am not separating it into two videos between Vegas and Round 1. To start off our NRL Round 1 tips, we of course have the first game of the doubleheader in Vegas, the Manly Warringah Seagulls versus South Sydney Rabbitohs. Not only will this be the first time all these players will be playing in Vegas, but also this will be the first game in general for a lot of players for their respected teams. I say this as obviously we have Jacob Gagai playing his first game, yes, related to Dane. I'm really excited to see how this guy goes, okay, legends? Seriously, congrats on getting there, even if it was due to a depleted team, lad. And obviously, for signings, we have Sean Keppie for the Rabbitohs, not Jack Whiten as he is still suspended. And for Manly, we have the GOAT Luke Brooks. Luke Brooksy boy. I'm excited to see how he goes in particular. Will Cherry Evans partnering him make him much better as a player? We'll have to wait and see, but he needed a fresh start, and hopefully he can get it at Manly. No matter how I feel about Manly, I think he's going to be a good signing for them. Speaking of Manly, they'll also, for one of the first few times ever, have Ben, Jake, and Tom in their starting 13. While this is technically listed as Manly's home game also, it isn't really. Let's face it, this is not a home game for either side in Vegas. It's actually very tough to predict these games in Vegas, legends. I could see it being quite close or a smashing. I really hate considering Manly, but with the players Souths have out, I might have to. I do think the game could be close, but just looking at the two lineups as a neutral, I have to go with the Manly Warringah Seagulls, and I'll say that they'll win by 1-12, alright? I'll say Souths give it a good run. Hopefully they win, but nah, I'm going to be tipping Manly in this one. And long-time viewers will know how tough of a tip that is for me. Then, obviously, after that, to finish off the doubleheader, it'll be the Sydney Roosters versus the Brisbane Broncos. Broncos bouncing off a grand final loss that obviously came off a terrible 20 minutes that Nathan Cleary just absolutely dominated. The Roosters obviously also have a new face with Spencer Leniu starting at number 8 for them. Maybe he can do a double over the Broncos. Since obviously he did the three-peat over them, it would be quite interesting to see. While yeah, you could say the Broncos have the better side, I certainly won't be writing off the Roosters like so many other tippers seem to have. Maybe Broncos could smash them based on last season, but I feel like the Roosters will become an indifferent this year, even if, yes, we do tend to overrate them in the preseason at times. So, with that in mind, I will stick with the common tip of the Brisbane Broncos, but I'll say that they only win 1-12 and the Roosters actually give them a game nobody expects. Alright, legends, we are now officially done with the Vegas games. On to the regular games, not based in Vegas. We have a finals week 1 rematch here, the Newcastle Knights versus the Canberra Raiders. I was actually quite entertained the last time these two teams played, as it was actually a very close game. That included a shocking bite on Tyson Gamble from Jack Whiten that of course leaves him out for the start of the season for Bunnies. So who truly knows for a fact how this game will go? It could be super close. But I think I will lean towards the Newcastle Knights 13 plus. But that is purely on the basis of I'm expecting the Raiders to have a drop-off year. And also, while yes, I think the Knights will drop off too, their hype is unreal right now. They didn't do too bad against the Storm in the preseason, in my opinion, or in general. So, yeah, I'll go with Newcastle Knights 13 plus in this game. But Raiders can prove me wrong. By the way, legends, if you have enjoyed the video so far, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to join the legends. I've absolutely enjoyed making this, and if you've made it through these last few predictions, you've probably enjoyed it too. Make sure you do it so that you can keep up with all the content, and let's move on to the next game. After that, obviously, we have the New Zealand Warriors, the Wars, versus the Cronulla Sharkies. You could argue it's only round one and upsets can happen. However, with this being based in New Zealand and being the return of RTS, I just think the Warriors will be too good. I wouldn't be shocked if Cronulla gave us a game. I think it'll be close because it's round one, and that's kind of how it tends to go if you look at last season. There's also concerns over Nico Hines, even though at this moment I think he will play. So, with it all in mind, I'm going to go with the New Zealand Warriors to win 1-12. Prove me wrong, Sharkies. Prove me wrong. And yes, I know Chance Nickel-Klokstad is out. Now it's the Melbourne Storm and the Penrith three-peat champions Panthers. Who is going to win this one, legends? Two top teams going head-to-head. Storm arguably the most consistent outside of the last 4 years. And the Panthers, the best team, just possibly of the NRL ever in the last 4 years. Best team ever. While this is the only game I will ever hesitate to tip the Penrith Panthers, I'm still going to tip them, and I'm going to go for them to win 1-12. That's right, round one, Craig Bellamy is losing his record on his home soil at Amy Park. It's going to go down. Either way, whether I'm wrong or not, this game is going to be super tight, and look, I think that round one record does scare me a little for tipping the Panthers for once. Unfortunately, though, for Storm fans, I just cannot look past how hungry the Panthers will be after that controversial World Club Challenge loss, as well as just how they always enter seasons, guys. They're like the most consistent team, and while I don't know whether they'll be as good as they were last year, that doesn't matter, however, as I think that the Penrith Panthers are still in for a brilliant year and are in for a good game versus the Storm to get them just over the line. Gonna be an absolute blockbuster, possibly the best of the round besides Parra Dogs. The next day, to kick off our weekend of footy, it'll be the best team in the NRL, the team I support for life, the Parramatta Eels versus the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. Pretty boring team, I know. Our biggest rivals, though, and this is never a game to be joked about. These two teams do not like each other one bit. It truly is a proper rivalry. You could see it going either way this game. However, even with signings, I don't know whether the Bulldogs are quite there yet. I think they still need some time to fully flush out what they want to do, because the 2 weeks I saw from the Dogs were very different in my vibe from them. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, but I'm pretty confident Parra can get the job done here. I am aware we're missing Micah Sevo. I just don't think that it will impact us too much. And I will go with the Parramatta Eels to win, even if it was late, 13 plus, guys, alright? A low 13 plus, but a good one to the Parramatta Eels. Just don't think the Dogs will be able to hold us out for 80. Maybe, though. Maybe I could be wrong. You can never predict it with rivalry games, in my opinion. Not like regular games. After NRL's greatest rivalry, we have the Gold Coast Titans versus the St. George Illawarra Dragons. A game where its tips will be split very much down the middle. I personally had to think for quite a while before I came to a decision on this one. Do I back Project Desi Hasler or do I back Shane Flanagan? After careful consideration, I think I have finally come to my verdict. I will be going with the Gold Coast Titans 1-12. Yeah, I know that the Dragons could easily surprise us and win this one, with them obviously missing a couple of their players, the Titans, but I think the Titans have enough players back that they can still get the job done here. It just depends on who starts faster. I'm hoping it's the Titans, but it really easily could be the Dragons. To finish off the round, we will have the Dolphins versus the North Queensland Cowboys. I reckon this is going to be a fun game as always, Legends. But what NRL game isn't at least a little fun to watch, Legends, especially after the off-season, right as we're heading into round one. Dolphins have recruited really well in the off-season, but I also expect a lot more from the Cowboys compared to last year. In my opinion, the Cowboys heavily underachieved for the team they have, and I look forward to hopefully see them do better this year. It's honestly just down to me which one I think will outdo the other. Will it be the new signings, two of which are grand finalists, or will it be the North Queensland Cowboys just simply wanting it more? You could predict either one if you wanted to, depends on what you're just feeling a little more. For me, I am leaning towards the Cowboys. There's something about them. I'm expecting them to bounce back big this year. This is their chance. A low 13+ win to the North Queensland Cowboys, where maybe the Dolphins have the lead at some point, but simply having it, Cowboys will go on a good run in a 10 to 20 minute period and win by a 13+ margin. Man, isn't the unpredictability of tips so much fun? Anyways, those are my Vegas and round one predictions. Feel free to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you like and subscribe. Consider checking out one of the other videos on screen, and I'll see you next time.